Okay, so click here and let's create a new folder. Right click, new folder, and let's say config. Inside this configuration, I'm just going to bring the new folder. Right click, new file, firebase.config, config.js. Fine. So now I need to bring all the necessary configuration information inside our Firebase. So just give me a minute. Where it is? Okay, so let's go here. Let me open the Firebase config. Go to the project settings, and let's scroll down. This is the configuration which we needed. So copy this and I'll bring it here. Paste the changes. Okay, and we are not supposed to keep all these security keys and all those things inside the same place over here. We need to keep it in a separate environment variable and we need to bring it here. But I'm just, for this simple example, I'm just going to keep it as it is. But try for a real-time project, don't keep it as it is. Okay, so here first what we need to do is we need to import the Firebase initialize apps and everything. So import, let's say from Firebase/app. From the Firebase app, I need certain classes like get app. I need to get this method, and get apps. This is to get all the complete registered application in our Firebase, and then initialize the app. Okay, then come on. Then I need to import one more package, import. Okay, so if you're going to use the Firestore or storage and all those things, you can use the import that one also from Firebase/storage. If you're going to use the Firebase storage also, you can use that Firebase storage over here, but in this case we are not going to use the Firebase storage, so let me remove it. And right after here, I'm just going to create an app, const app is equals. Okay, because in case if an app is already created, you need to use that app. If the app is not created only, you need to create an app. Otherwise, every time when the project is loaded, it will initiate the app again and again and again. To avoid that, to get app, first I need to get the apps. Get apps.length. If the length is greater than 0, then get that app detail, get app. Otherwise, initialize the app with the Firebase. Initialize the app with Firebase config. All right, so basically we are here trying to get the apps list. If the apps list is greater than 0, that means if an app is already created, of course the length will be 1. So then get that application information. Otherwise, create a new app, right? And now what I need to do is like I need to export this app so that we can use it inside whenever we need it. So I'm just going to say export the app. Okay, now we exported it. Now we need to get back to our login.jsx. Let me come to our output here. Okay, I'll go here and just give me a minute. Let me open where it is. All right, so now we are inside our login.app. Fine. So then what I need to do is click here, expand it, and I need to import as I need to get the authentication complete package. So const Firebase auth equals get auth. It's not loading, so what we need to do is we need to import it from, so import from Firebase/get Firebase/auth. So we need to get auth. Okay, in this is the one which we needed. Get auth package. Save the change. Oh, come on. Firebase auth is equals get auth and our app which is coming from Firebase config.js. Okay, fine. Now we do have our all the authentication informations in our Firebase Auth. Now I need to choose the provider, which provider I'm going to use. So const Google provider is equals and new Google Auth provider. That's a class we are going to use for the Gmail authentication provider. All right, and I'm just going to create one more variable, const navigate equals use navigate. Save the changes. Fine. All right, so now we do have the navigate and use navigate, which is going to help us, which is coming from your React router, which will help you to navigate from one page to another. All right, now we do have all the necessary informations, and when I click this division, I need to call an on click event. On click, I'm just going to say login with Gmail. I'm going to create that method, const login with Gmail equals an arrow6 function. Open it. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to get that user. We need to there are different methods to sign in with Google. You can use a redirect or you can use a pop-up. So let's see what we can use. Let me go back here and search for Firebase docs. If you search for Firebase docs, you can open the Firebase documentation and search for Firebase authentication. Search for Firebase authentication. That will provide you the different ways of authentication with a nice documentation. I'm just going to use the web. Inside the web, we are going to use the Google. Click the Google. We already added the providers and all those things. And if you scroll down, where is it? Google. Google Auth provider, fine. And yeah, here you can see we can sign in with a pop-up, or we can use the sign in with redirect. Okay, we can, there are two different ways to here pop-up method and redirect method. We can use the two different ways to sign in with your application, either sign in with pop-up or sign in with redirect. I'll show you the both methods. You can choose which is comfortable for you. All right, so let's go here. Where is that sign in with provider? Okay, here. Now we do already have our auth information, and here you can see sign in with pop. Inside here you need to supply your authentication and your provider information, and then it will gives you the result of that user. Okay, let's go here. Now here all I need to do is just what is that? Come on. Okay, so let's start with the, and this function is, let's change this function to an asynchronous function. So async. All right, and in here I'm just going to say await sign in with pop-up. Okay, first we'll use the sign in with pop-up. So sign in with pop-up, and this first it's asking you to provide the authentication method and the auth object and the provider, what provider you are going to use. I'm just going to say Firebase Auth and the Google provider. Okay, once you supply this information, that will gives you a promise dot then, and that is going to be user credential, user cred. Send it and open it. Okay, and now here, if there is a user credential, then, and first let's see console.log what object we are getting. Console.log user credential. Save the changes. What happened? Console.log user cred. Save the changes. All right, so let's check it out whether it is working fine or not. Let me open the console also. I'll bring it separately over here. Okay, now I can see the console separately. Click it, sign in. Now look at that, it's opening the pop-up. Okay, it's asking me to sign in. If I click this, there we go, and that's giving me the complete user credentials, that user details, and the access token and everything. So what you what you need to do is you need to send this token to the backend, and you need to validate the user. The token is whether the token is active or inactive. So we need to do all those steps one by one. All right, so close this information. And to do that, what we need to do is we need to create here. So now all I have to do is to delete this. Come on, what happened? This keyboard shortcuts. And here I'm just going to say user credit. First I need to get that token separately. So get user credential. Okay, so if there is a user credential, it will comes inside. Then using the Firebase Auth, on auth state change, if there is any changes on the state, okay, get the credential again. Then inside here I'm going to get that token. So from that credential I'm going to get the ID token. All right, and then that will returns that token, and we need to send that token. Like now you can see console.log token, save the changes. And now I'll go to the console control. Oops. Okay, here close the changes. And now if I click this, it will open this. And if I click this again, and here we go. So this is the token which we really needed, and we need to pass this token to our backend, and that backend will isolate this token separately, and it will validate the user information, and it will gives back that user information to us. Okay, so this is what actually you need to do for the entire user token validations and all those things, and that's what we are going to do next.